Hello, everyone. I am Sheila Sorensen, the Grateful Goddess, and I am super excited today to have with me Edna Northrup. She is my all-time favorite role model for agelessness and also for the ability to do anything you set your mind to, and sometimes not even setting your mind to, but that your soul is calling you to do. She is the matriarch of Team Northrup, which is a group of entrepreneurs who are creating a wellness revolution in health and prosperity, which is led by herself and her daughters, Penny Northrup Kirk, her daughter Dr. Christiane Northrup, and Chris's daughter Kate Northrup Watts. So thank you so much for joining me, Edna. Welcome.
Well, thank you very much. It's quite an honor to do this.
Wonderful, thank you. I want to start off right out of the chute with your secrets to living a really long, healthy, and happy life.
Well, I don't know if there are secrets. I just know that I've been an active person all my life, uh, even from getting married young, having a lot of children, doing a lot of things with them. And we were always an active family, always skied, went hiking, things like that. Our family was very active in growing up. And that was part of it. I was married to a dentist. He was very much into health at the time when not a lot of people were that was way back when. and but we always tried to feed our family well. We raised our own cattle and we had chickens. And because we had a little farm right on the outskirts of Ellicottville where I live. And so that part of our life, it was good. And he believed in being a dentist. He saw how people were that weren't healthy, what was happening. So we had a good family group of trying to do things that fed us well.
Yeah. So as you say, they're not secrets because it's eat right and exercise, move your bodies.
That's a big part.
But then also I think it's the community. It's the tight-knitness in terms of that sense of support and belonging. And
that is true. Ellicottville is a very small town. And when I came, it was probably about 1,000 people, and with children and everybody. It's grown, and then my husband, and he was very active in the ski corporation. He started Holiday Valley, so we had skiing as a big part of our life, and as skiing grew, so did the town grow. And it's been a very wonderful thing because we live in a very, Cattaraugus County in New York State is a very, very poor county. And yet Holiday Valley and Ellicottville is booming. And we have lots of young people who like to come because there's a lot of action. And that's very nice. At one time, after my husband died, I was only 51 when he died. And I became mayor of the village of Ellicottville. So I was mayor for 8 years. And then I decided that I was going to do what I always dreamed about doing, and that was hiking the Appalachian Trail. So after 8 years of that and having, I kept going away hiking a bit, and I tried to keep up all the good things in the village that we did. But one day I came home and there was a milk bottle on the counter of the local restaurant, and with my picture on it, and it says, "Has anybody seen this woman?" So I figured I'd better quit being mayor and go hike.
Well, actually, that was what I was referring to in the opening introduction of you, that sometimes it's not even that you set your mind out to become mayor, because that wasn't what you set your mind to do, but your soul's calling must have been calling you to do it because, so tell us how it came to be that you became mayor.
Yeah, well, my son was instrumental in that, and he called me. I was visiting my daughter Chris in Maine, and it was about 6 months after my husband had died, and he called me up and he said, "You know, Mom, I think you'd be a good mayor for the village." And I said, "I'm not going to be mayor." I said, "I know nothing about that." He said, "Well, you had a budget and you did this and that." He said, "The Republicans have put you up for mayor." And I said, "Well, I'm not going to do any going around asking people to vote for me." So he said, "Don't worry about it." A week later, I got a call from him and he said, "You're going to be mayor," because the Democrats thought it was a great idea too. So I didn't even have anybody run against me. And for 8 years, I was mayor and never had anybody run against me. So I knew that it was time to quit, have new people come in, and have me go follow a path that I'd been wanting to do.
Yeah. And do you think that it had something to do with the timing? Since you had just lost your husband and you were grieving,
Yes,
do you think that that was why it was so important to do that, to get you into action? And
right, right. My husband and my 23-year-old daughter was killed in the same year. So it
oh,
was a very difficult time, and I needed something, and I know that my family felt that being mayor would be really a good thing for me, and it
mm-hmm,
was.
mm-hmm,
It gave me something that I'd never done before, didn't know how. I read Robert's Laws of Order for putting talking to people and what have you,
yeah,
and I just kind of put myself into it,
yeah,
and it was very good for me at the time.
mm-hmm. And I think because it was taking the focus off of your pain and into helping others
Yes.
live. Yeah,
And
that's,
it was a wonderful experience because you had to learn, I had to know what was going on in the waterworks, down in the water
mhm.
department, the sewer department, and all of the things that did. And I just would ride along and go down and see everything. And they all knew who I was. This is a small town.
Yeah,
So I just said, you're going to have to help me. And I'll come down and you teach me what you're doing, and then we'll work from there. And I had really a very good 8 years. Uh, it was good in the community. They were all behind me, and as you said, there's a lot of things you can do as mayor that you could not do in other places.
right,
And
right.
so, anyway, it was a good experience.
Yeah, and it also sounds like you knew enough of when to put your efforts outward and help others, and when to go inward and take your hikes and do the things that you needed
Correct.
to refuel your own needs,
That is correct.
nourish your soul.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is true.
In
Yeah.
fact, then at the age of 84, you climbed to the base camp of Mount Everest, which had been a lifelong dream of yours. So tell us
Well,
about
I had
that
always thought
experience.
about going to Nepal, but
Uh-huh.
when I got to be 84, I thought, well, that's that's kind of far fetched. I knew what it would take to do that.
Yeah.
But my daughter Penny and her husband Phil were going to go on this trip, and they said, "I think you can do it, Mom. We'll be with you, and if it is something you can't do, we'll turn around."
Yeah.
And said, "Okay, I'll give it a try." And it turned out to be an amazing thing because I never realized it was 50 miles in and 50 miles out, and all about 10,000 feet. So it was
That's
an
amazing.
outstanding trip. It really was.
So how did it make you feel to accomplish something you had no idea you were capable of doing?
Well, you just because I've done so much climbing and so much hiking that I knew I was in pretty good shape.
Right.
And I and as I realized that each day I was slow, but Penny helped me,
Uh-huh.
and I just kept on putting one foot in front of the other and climbing. And the Sherpas were wonderful.
Yeah.
They didn't even let me carry my day pack. All we had to do was carry a day pack with an extra jacket and things like that. But they were wonderful because they called, and all of them called me Mama, which was very cute. I thought it was great.
Yes. Yeah.
And they wanted so hard for me to make it because they had realized that not many people, many women, made it to base camp at 18,000 feet.
Yeah.
So, you know, they were, and it was the one of the real big things that happened. All of the people that we were a big group, all from most of them from USANA,
Mm-hmm.
and so we knew some, and they were, you know, they would watch me, and then if they got tired or something, then I'd come in a little later and say, well, you know, if Edna could do this, we can do this, you know. So we all helped each other. This was,
Right, right. In
and
fact, I
this,
had heard some statistic in terms of what the drop-off rate was in terms of
oh,
the attempt, and
yeah,
and it was a relatively high percentage of groups
very
that
high.
the whole group does not make it. There's a high percentage of
Yeah,
dropout, and that you guys, every single one of you made it
we made
because
it.
of your inspiration. It's like, well, if
I
Edna
don't
can do
think,
this, I
but
got to be able to do it.
it was, yeah, when I got up to the base camp, just I could just see it was probably another 100 or so feet up because well, there was a few scragglers, you know,
Yeah.
coming up in our group. But as I looked up, there was the whole group up there. People I didn't know because some people were climbing Everest, twos or three people from different countries and everything, and they were all standing up there saying, Edna, 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 keep coming. And it was inspirational for that last hard 200 feet or so.
Yeah. What would you
So
say is your greatest lesson from that experience?
I think that probably, first of all, is to be know yourself, know your capabilities to a degree, but to have the community behind you, and
Mm-hmm.
the hiking community were behind me the whole time, and to have a daughter and a son-in-law like Penny, you know, when she was a skier, she was on the ski team and
Mm-hmm.
skied all over the world, and I would train with her. And then she said to me, you know, Mom, you were there for me, now I'm here for you. So that was
Oh,
great.
that's so sweet.
It
That
was
is
great.
very sweet.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So,
Well, I
and
know I know that your daughter, Dr. Christiane Northrup, recently wrote a book, Goddesses Never Age. And
yes,
in it, she talks about what centurions have in common. And there were things like not going to the doctor. In fact, they noted that they had outlived their doctor, so they didn't go to doctors. They didn't hang around old people, which I thought that was very funny. They have daily rituals of things that, and they're
yes,
very forward thinkers,
yes,
looking to the future with excitement. Can you relate to those characteristics?
yes, I can. I can. Never have hung out too much with uh, older people all the time. I had my very, very dear friend,
Yeah,
Ann Mosoff, was 90 when she died just a year ago.
yeah,
And here we were climbing peaks in the east when we were 70. We never started. I never started to really hike until I was in my 60s.
wow,
So I accomplished a lot after that time. So it gave me the strength of knowing and keeping in shape, and but also USANA.
yeah,
USANA. I started to take the USANA supplements
mm-hmm.
when I was in my 70s. Penny and Phil introduced me. I was their first person to take them.
Customer, ah,
And then I started the business and it was wonderful. But USANA, the nutrition that it gave me, I know that every day I take it, I know that I'm getting everything I need because it takes care of me.
yeah,
To celebrate my 90th birthday this year.
yay.
So that's pretty good.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
And besides that, USANA, I am a gold director, so therefore I have an income that allows me to continue to do some things that I like to do
Yeah,
and afford it. So
ex-
it's wonderful.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, as a forward thinker, always looking to the future, what is it that you want to do next? What's on your bucket list?
I don't have a bucket list such as I did. You said I got that done. I did
Good.
that for that. What it is now is to learn to live um, peacefully
Mm,
as you are not able to do you well, you're not able, you don't want to. I don't want to carry 40 pounds on my back anymore.
yeah.
I'm finding out what my limitations are and accepting them.
Uh-huh.
And that's important to me. And in my family, they're just wonderful and they include me in most things. And I have now 6 great grandchildren.
Wow.
And my grandchildren, they're wonderful. I go with them, with their family, on things. We have cook-ups on the hill and go for a hike or do something. And watching them grow and having a delightful time when I visit with them, that's all part of it. And I'm very blessed.
Yeah.
And thank God for all the things that I have uh, ahead of me and behind me.
Yeah.
And so
So
that's,
gratitude. You're just
I'm
living in the
very
moment in gratitude.
very appreciative for all the blessings I've had. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Edna. I just so
You're
love you,
welcome.
and I'm looking forward to seeing you
Yeah.
in January. So,
Yes, at the sweet retreat.
yes.
I will be there.
All
And
right.
you too, Sheila. I appreciate that you wanted to talk to me.
Thank you, Edna. Mwah.
Okay. Goodbye.